Hey guys, Trailser here. Now, if you can judge by the title of this video, I'm just going to be talking about what I think are the worst maps in Enlisted. Like, these are the worst of the worst. Now, I'm not picking Tunisia because I don't really have any Tunisia experience. But, again, it's going to be mostly Moscow, Normandy and Berlin. And to be honest, I have played some Tunisia maps. I think I played Fortress, that was pretty fun. Gorge was quite fun in my opinion. I also liked... There was one which was pretty good as well. I can't remember which one it was, but this is just going to be looking at the basically the five worst. So, with that being said, let's move on to number 5. Now, of course, this is going to be mostly invasion. I'm going to exclude assault maps. So, all of these. The reason being is that assault is just like assault. It will just be assault maps because assault is just a rubbish game mode. However, I will be, of course, including some invasion maps. For example, there's a few maps which have invasions, and I will be specifying if it's an invasion map. I will be specifying it's invasion, or vice versa if it's a conquest. Anyways, let's move on to number 5. Coming in number 5 is airfield. Now, the problem with airfield, in my opinion, is the secondary objective. Now, if you don't know, airfield is really dependent on your team. Like, this is the map where your teammates will make or break the experience. If you have a fantastic team on airfield for either side, you can have some of the best matches ever. But if one of the sides is completely rubbish and the other side is amazing, or vice versa, you're gonna have or if both sides are bad and there's like one or two good players on both sides, or the map will drag, and I mean drag. It will either be, from my experience, it's either going to drag out, or the allies can't even get out the spawn room, because the Axis will just bombard the spawn room. Now, in my opinion, again, it's one of the worst invasion maps in the game. I think that this, the only upside is it's unique. It's one of the more unique maps because of the whole, you can basically fly around in the plane and you can shoot out what's it called? The balloons, which of course increase tickets for the attackers. But other than that, it's kind of rubbish. Like, and obviously the attackers have a huge advantage if you've got a plane and who knows what they're doing, or even a tanker constantly taking out the balloons. And the Axis, the defenders don't, if you're against a decent team and you have a really rubbish team, doesn't matter which side, the other side's going to win. It's a coin flip. Now, there are other maps like D-Day, like Versamer, those are my 2 examples, that are kind of like this, but I don't think any map has it as bad as Airfield, which is why it's coming in at number 5. Now, there are some good redeeming maps, some quantities with Airfield. It's a fun map at times. But when you're against some of the, when you get some of the big issues of Airfield, I would say this is a good map. It's still a good map, but man, there's better maps in in Normandy and in the game. And it gets in at number 5. Let's move on to number 4 right now. So, yeah. For number 4, it's Chateau de Bourg. Now, the problem with the Chateau map is just it's the Chateau itself, really. If you don't know, it's literally a 2-lane map. It's a 2-lane map. You've got the Chateau and you've got A and C, right? If you own A and C, now there is another map in Moscow called Fortified District. Now, Fortified District is pretty much these. I'm going to put these identical. It's basically a duel between Chateau de Bourg and Fortified District. You've got a really good B point, but other than that, it's rubbish in the other way. So I'm going to put these 2 as number 4. They've got the exact same problems, in my opinion. Now, there are other maps which are 2-lane, like the Coolville Farm. But the difference with the Coolville Farm is, the Coolville Farm, you can kind of pivot from B with to A and C, because it's not, it's not huge. Fortified District and Shatter the Borg are huge maps. In fact, just for reference, Coolville Farm is literally the entirety of the first point of Labrie. You know, Fortified District and Chateau de Bourg are multiple in the invasions, like they're multiple parts in the invasion. Now, I'm going to put those at number 4. Obviously, these two maps, joint. You know, the B point, of course, too far out in the open, and it's just like too far away from anything really. And yeah, it comes in at number 4. These two come in at number 4. Let me move on to number 3. For number 3, unfortunately it's a Berlin map, but it's the train station invasion map, whatever this is. Leicester Bramov, whatever, I can't say it. But the main problem is the spawn camp. This is, honestly, I said airfield has spawn camping. This is spawn camp central. The defenders literally have eyesight on the attacker's spawn point during the first point. Honestly, the first 2 points are just torturous for the attackers. Once you get past those 2 points, the map it just gets boring really. You get into the train station's fine, the train station points are fine, but then you have like this really stupid point outside the train station, which it's just stupid. Like, it's annoying to defend and it's annoying to attack. The train station map, when you get to the train station, the map's actually decent, but it's the first 3 points are just awful. Like one of them is literally just, it's either a wide open plain, which sucks, or you're just cutting into a building, which sucks. Like, and the building gives the defenders so much free real estate to work with that it's basically you need the defenders to basically be stupid and not defend, otherwise you're fucked. And that's the problem with this map. It's not that good for that. Now, again, like I said, airfields can be one-sided, but with airfield, it requires to make it one-sided. You need to have a good team, who know the map and know how to spawn camp. With the train station, you don't. Like, any half brain dead team can spawn camp on this map. Like, you can spawn camp with the basic shit on this map. It's generally super easy to spawn camp. Anyways, that being said, let's move on to number 2. So the second worst map in the game. Coming in for number 2 is Quarry. Now, Quarry is, of course, it's a Moscow map. Now, obviously, you probably want it... Oh, I already put Fortified District on here, so you were Moscow wasn't off the picture. But, yeah, this map is just awful. It doesn't matter if it's north or south, it's awful. The fucking center points are just horrible. If you don't know, you go to a small town and then you have like this massive open fuck off gorge, like this fuck off quarry, which is just a hole in the ground, and then you have like a tiny building to attack with. Now, I will say that there is a couple other maps which are pretty bad as well. I think there's one. It wasn't Vesco Village. It was a sawmill map, which isn't actually on here. Interesting. There's one map that's not even on here now. But, yeah. Quarry is just awful. It's a very annoying map to defend. Like, it's very annoying to attack. It's very annoying to defend. I generally have tried to ban this map when I'm playing customs because it's just so unlikable. Like, I hate this map. It's a map I absolutely hate. I generally never have fun when I'm playing Quarry. It's one of the few maps I legitimately do not have any fun with. And it's one of the maps I think is devoid. The only thing you can literally say about this map which is good is maybe maybe it's good for air, but I don't use air too often. Like, I think I only use one plane in the game and that's it. And it just drags, it's boring. I don't like this map at all. And it comes in at as the second worst, but there was no contender for what was the worst map. And I'm pretty sure you clicked into this video knowing what the worst map was going to be. Act like this, you didn't see this coming as the worst map. Swamps. This, like, generally, this is a map where I generally go, no, I do not want to play this map like, it's a map like, if it shows up, if it shows its ugly head, I generally just quit out the game. And I'm not alone on that sentiment. Swamps? Why? Like, I know I was talking about how Fortified District and Chateau had huge distances between A and C and B, right? But at least, with that map, you could actually, those maps, the A and C points were pseudo close to each other, with just the B point. Here, all of the points are far away from each other. So you've got that. B point is a fucking clusterfuck. You've got almost no cover, and the cover you do have basically is just pointless, as it's super easy to flank. It's one of the most stupid points. A point is kind of worthless. C point's fine. But if you got C point, all you do is you go on the MG42, then you just snipe across the map. That's what you do. Snipe across the map with machine guns. And the thing is, because of how badly it's designed as well, because it's just a swamp, right? And the points are hugging the outside of the swamp, so you have to either take a road, which, again, you're basically exposed from all angles. There is no cover anywhere around the map, right? The only cover you have is in A point and C point. And even the C point's not really too much cover, since it's a bunker. A point has some cover, and there's occasional, you see in the thing, there's a couple houses here and there, and a couple destroyed tanks. But it's just like, it's pointless. It's pointless. Like, the only thing it works in is during, where is the map? During Ruins of Valk's invasion, where it feeds into the map. But Ruins, at least with that, you've got some good content with Ruins, and that is arguably the worst part of the map, going into swamps. And at least with that one, you can only focus on one point, right? It's just an appalling map, one of the worst maps in the game, and yeah, it's probably the worst map in the game. Like, it's one of the worst maps in FPSs. Like, this is just awful. Anyways, I'm going to close the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed me basically taking shit talking all of these maps. Look, I'm going to make another video which is going to be the best maps. Like, comment, subscribe if you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.